welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So, you've recently been voted as student body president. What are your plans for next year?
A lot of people have been asking me that question, and as we're formulating our strategic plan and we're planning to release that and show kind of what we plan to do, and so that students can hold us accountable, because a lot of times we get elected and then no one really hears from us except for like here and there. So we want to let people know exactly what we plan to do and also affirm our stance on this campus. If SGA was to be taken away this minute, would students really be in uproar? Would there really be a need for SGA? I think in this current moment there hasn't really been as much of a need for SGA, and I think we have to reaffirm ourselves as we are the student leadership on this campus, and we are servicing the student body in every way. One of the biggest things that we want to bring back, we would want to do on this campus is during alumni weekend. Many other schools do homecoming week. We do not here, and this is a week of extreme school spirit, activities all over the campus. It's infusing every member of the campus in every way possible. And I think some of the ideas that we have are innovative while also maintaining true to some of our traditions.
Right, that's nice. Is that going to be kind of a surprise? You can't really share anything about that?
We're in the works. There's a lot of things in the works, but primarily what we want to do is release that strategic plan so that everyone knows we said we will do this. This hasn't been done, so that this time next year, when someone else is sitting here, they can be like, Ted said he would do everything and he did nothing. So there's some sort of accountability to the student body that elected me, but also to SGA.
Okay, that's great. So what inspired you to run for president?
I actually was not planning to run. Quick tidbit, I learned that freshman year I said that I would run for student body president, but I did not remember that until my friend told me.
That was on one weekend night.
One of my friends told me after I won. Okay, her name is Patricia. She was like, you did say that when you were a freshman. But it wasn't until I think it was about the week before that I knew that if I was to run, I would only be capable of doing so with Inkofa.
Right.
She is a brilliant person and someone who can. I'm very much untethered and I have a lot of ideas, and I need someone who can. She's also very untethered, but she brings me back easier than I'm able to bring her back. So I think that chemistry and that collaboration we have with each other works perfectly.
Yeah, you do seem like a very great team, and that great things are going to come. Very excited.
We're trying to be. We're in the transitionary period, so right now, most of the times I feel like I'm that, sort of like that new person at Forever 21 who's like, I don't know anything here. I don't know if that's on sale. I don't even know if that's a register.
Yeah, you just got the job.
Yeah. I'm new here, but we're in the process of creating a lot of beautiful things for students on this campus and fixing some of the issues that we have.
That's great. So you were recently featured in Marist Circles for the Record. Could you tell us a bit about that?
It was an honor. It was truly an honor. I know that last year, one of my idols, Brianna Adams, was featured, and I looked up to her with everything that she did. We have the same major, minor. She's a criminal justice major. She was president of BSU. And I was like, if I was to ever get this honor, I do think it's an honor to be featured in that way. So when I saw my picture and I sent it to my mom, she was like, oh, I don't have to worry anymore. She took it as a sign of, I'm going to be paid now, but I told her, I'm still broke. So, but I love the fact that we had so many different students represented, and it was a student-driven initiative. It was a student project that was, everything about it came from the students.
Right.
So I think that's something that we have to recognize, how we can support more of those, because I think that's a beautiful initiative that should be displayed throughout campus.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's one of the things that we have to push for, is making sure that student initiatives are shown a great amount of support on this
Yeah,
campus.
and that was such a great success. You know, it was very well done, and
Of course.
it's great that students can, how do you say, vote other students in, or they
Yeah.
put their names in to, hey, recognize this person for what they've done. So it's not, you know, it's very cool to see students kind of admiring other students and putting their names out there. As Marist is a predominantly white school, it's great to see black representation in our student body, and we have events such as Rwanda before genocide, and Mon Afrique and BSU is prevalent on campus. Are there any other events taking place next year to do with this?
I think the London commemoration, that was an event done completely by students with help from CMA and SGA's Inclusion Board, which I sat on. Mon Afrique, the current VP of Inclusion and Diversity, Ornella Mihigo, is now one of the, I believe, chair members of Mon Afrique's planning committee. I think representation is very important, which is why my cabinet is one of the most diverse that Marist has ever had.
That's amazing.
We have people from different sections of our population on campus represented throughout. I don't believe in just black representation, but representation of all kind, depending on where your socioeconomic status is, because we do need people of every different voices to be heard.
Right.
Which is why in our administration we don't treat it as like you're a VP, so only your voice matters, or you're a senator, so only you get to have a voice. But even the board member or the assistant, their voice matters just as much because they are a student, first and foremost. We come here for our education. So as a student body president, that's only a title. First and foremost, I'm a student here for my degree, and that's the same thing we say in our administration, is that no matter who you are as a student, and SGA, your voice matters. So that representation is important, but in the events that we're planning to do for next year, Ornella, who is the VP of Inclusion, would love to see many more events relating to different type of representation, different type of inclusion, diversity, without focusing more solely on one, but rather all types of inclusion and diversity.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can't wait to see what's in store. Do you have any advice or welcoming message for the class of 2022?
If it was me personally, I would say take a risk and allow yourself to immerse in the culture. Because it did take me a while before I integrated myself into Marist. And I think when we get to college, sometimes we can be a bit scared. You know, that's a big word to use, but it is what we are sort of scared when we first get here. We're uncomfortable, the environment is too new for us, and I think we have to take risks and get into good trouble, because a lot of times if you don't get into the good kind of trouble, you don't grow. And college is a place and time for you to grow as a person, intellectually, emotionally, physically. The gym has been doing me great, but like everyone,
I can tell.
everyone deserves some type of growth through college, and I hope it's all positive.
Yeah, college is absolutely a place to grow a lot, especially as we go out into the big scary world. You know?
Yes.
Oh man.
Right now, I'm going into my senior year, and looking back, a message that I would primarily say is take the risk that you're comfortable with, and even some of the ones that you're uncomfortable with, but also get into some good trouble. Start a club. Join a club that you've never heard of. Step outside of Marist College, go into a Poughkeepsie community. So sort of go out of what you usually know and see how much you can grow from that.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations, Mr. President, and we hope everybody has a great summer.